There's a lot of advice out there on the internet, and it's not all good, especially when it comes to social media. We have seen some crazy recommendations out there, and we want to make sure that you do not fall victim to this bad advice. So stay tuned, because we're going to be telling you all the things to ignore and avoid so you do not end up killing your social media accounts. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, we are High Season, a social media agency that helps business owners, entrepreneurs, and marketers step their social media game up and break the algorithm. Today, we're going to be talking about some of the worst social media advice that we have seen on the internet that we do not want our lovely subscribers, you today, or a viewer that should be a subscriber, subscribe. We do not want you to fall victim to these things, because really, if you implement certain practices, it can actually really negatively impact your social media account. This goes for all accounts. We'll probably be focusing a lot more on Instagram here today, but this goes for everything.
Yep.
So, without further ado, let's get started.
All right, so the first worst piece of advice on social media, I don't think it's the actual worst, but it's where we're going to start off, is mass follow and unfollow. This was a tactic I really hope people aren't using in 2020.
They still are.
They still are?
I actually saw a video the other day that was like, how to unfollow and follow. Use the method for the best thing. Which is why we were like, we need to do this video.
Yeah, so, it's so important. So guys, if you are doing that tactic, please stop. It did work once upon a time. I was trying to think how long, like 4 or 5 years ago, I want to say.
Maybe.
It worked. Now, when I say it worked, I mean it grew followers. Absolutely, right? But people were following you for the wrong reasons. They weren't following you because they like your stuff. They were following you in reciprocation for your original follow. I would say, I don't know what percentage, but like a bunch of the time they're going to just unfollow you eventually, or they're going to become a dormant follower and they're not going to engage with your posts because they don't care about what you're doing.
It's so like futile, you know? It's a futile effort. It's a terrible thing, because in the end, you're just showing Instagram, because when these people follow you back and then they don't engage with you because they don't care about your content, you should be following the right people. When they start scrolling past your images, when Instagram starts seeing that every time your post is served to X amount of people, they don't engage, you are just going to de-rank yourself in the algorithm. So you're going to hurt your engagement, which is just going to hurt your account, which makes everything pointless, and you basically will just have to start a new account again.
Yep. So in essence, it's much better to have 1,000 followers and get 250 likes per post than have 100,000 followers and even get 1,000 likes a post. The numbers don't matter nowadays as much as the quality of the engagement and of your following.
You know, let's just go right into the next one then.
Let's do it.
The next one is buying followers. So anybody tells you to buy followers hates you and does not want you to succeed, okay? So there is something that I have, and I understand, like I see where it comes from, where it's like, okay, if you're starting an account, like maybe this is what I've seen.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's good to just start, like add 1,000 fake people just to like get you justified or to appear good or get you going. One, it can compromise your account because Instagram is severely punishing people who do things like this. But number two, they're not going to engage, so they're not going to engage with your account, which is going to hurt when you're actually putting out content and want to reach people. But three, they don't buy or do anything. So what is the point?
Yeah.
In the end, the followers are supposed to be a representation of people who can potentially purchase from your business. So either buy a product that you're selling or take advantage of an offer or a service. So if you have this number there that means nothing, it's not going to do anything for you. It's just a vanity metric. It has no value at all. And when people can see that you purchased the following, it really just hurts your brand in the end.
It's actually only one step below the follow-unfollow, because they're real people behind accounts that aren't going to engage. These are no people.
At least the follow and follow is
as
a real person.
That could possibly buy if you decide to engage them.
Yeah.
But this is just nothing. And also with vanity metrics not being as important as they used to be, it's so redundant.
And I think that's why Instagram has removed that engagement number and has removed the likes, so that people aren't focusing on this number. So you shouldn't be focusing on purchasing to add these things that are becoming not important in the grand scheme of things. Yeah. All that matters is what's on your back end. What are your conversions? How many people are you driving to your website? How many people are liking, engaging from your perspective, so you can see what content is working, so you can share more of that, so you can get yourself in the algorithm and get to more people.
Exactly. All right, next up, terrible advice to use engagement groups. So we've talked about these before. I don't recall on which video, or maybe it was in a blog post.
Could have been a blog post.
Either way, I feel like we bring this up. So they're also known as pods. So this is something that essentially, if you're not sure what that is, it's a group of people typically in one industry, and they have an agreement that every time any of them post, they all have to go in, they have to post, they have crazy rules too.
Yeah.
They have to like the post, of course, and comment, I think minimum 5 to 10 words, and it has to be different every time about the subject of the photo or video, and potentially other things, and they get really strict about it. So basically what this is doing, they're trying to show Instagram via the algorithm that all of these people like this particular post and therefore this account within the first 30 minutes, so therefore it ranks it higher. So it's one, they're just trying to trick it, but two, it also would be tricking other followers and also potential brands or collaborators or clients of theirs, because they're going to read the comments and they're going to think they're all authentic when really they're just all doing it for each other. They're all doing each other a favor. And it results in pretty much the same as some of the other options we've mentioned, or advice we've mentioned, where these people aren't going to be purchasing or engaging in a commerce type of fashion.
Yeah, it's just inflation.
Yeah, exactly. It just inflates everything. And once again, these things are pretty easy to tell. It takes a little more time, but we've figured a few of these out before, and you get a feeling about it, like, this doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
And sometimes the comments are kind of practically bot-like comments, so please avoid pods.
Another bad piece of advice that people will give you is to post flyers when promoting on Instagram.
Yes.
Now, there's nothing wrong with certain types of graphics, but that flyer, you know what we're talking about. The flyer with the big date and all of this, like,
16
selling at
colors,
you and the cost of something. All of this stuff coming at you. It is not fit for the Instagram ecosystem, but it's perfect for platforms like Facebook and Twitter. But remember, when it comes to anything that you're posting on, you have to respect the platform. So something like a flyer that's just noisy and very overly promotional on a platform that's supposed to be a bit more curated, crafted, and hopefully more authentic, flyers just don't work. However, we do have a solution for that. Also, a quick note on that as well. Facebook and Instagram don't like flyers, which is why they will not allow you to even advertise something that has more than 20% text on it. So that just shows you everything that you need to know about why you shouldn't be posting that type of imagery to your feed. Now, a way to get around that, though, is by maintaining a cohesive, beautiful feed as you should, and then just using the carousel option to swipe to that flyer. That we're perfectly fine with. Do whatever you want with that, but when it comes to maintaining a cohesive feed that people are going to want to follow, nobody wants to follow something that looks like they're shouting and selling to them all the time. They want to follow something that looks like it'll be entertaining or educational in some way. So graphics and beautiful graphics that you can adopt to spread a message, perfectly fine. Images, even better, and then just swipe to that flyer.
All right, another piece of bad advice, and this one we definitely have brought up before, is people telling you not to use all 30 hashtags. That is bonkers. Instagram gives them to you for a reason. Everything they have on their platform plays a role in the overall experience and, of course, in the algorithm. So they're giving you the 30, use the 30. We heard some nonsense people saying, oh, if you use more than 15, like, it's going to hurt your rankings. And that's
so many random numbers, too. It's just
right?
like 21 will hurt you. It's so random.
It's nonsense. I don't know where these come from. I don't know why people say this stuff. We have done a whole video going in depth on a full hashtag strategy, so we're going to pop that up here and pop it down below. So we recommend to go check that out on how to do it properly, but absolutely use all 30. We broke down how to split them up into large hashtags, medium, and niche hashtags as well, and the ratios there. It's really important. Just absolutely don't be scared to use them, and put them in the first comment. Don't pop them in the caption, because it's not pretty.
It doesn't look good.
Not at all.
Another bad piece of advice is that Facebook ads do not work, so not to use Facebook ads or not to use Instagram ads because they're ineffective. That is a lie. That is a darn lie, bold-faced lie. Okay, Facebook and Instagram, Mark Zuckerberg is making a lot of money for these, so let's just put it out there in that way. But these ads are so powerful in really getting granular with reaching the exact type of person you want. And we have seen countless variants of conversions using Facebook and Instagram ads. Anyone who tells you that they do not work or that you should not be using them is not doing it correctly. So go to a source that's going to show you or teach you how to use it correctly. We actually filmed a video on our client who we made $100,000 with last year. Yeah,
last year.
$100,000 last year. We're going to pop it up there and put it in the description below. A large part of that was due to Facebook ads. We have made money in our business running Facebook ads.
Yep.
We had a blog post that we ran a Facebook ad once, and that blog post made us $50,000 or $60,000 in the end. Use the ads. If you use them right, they will make you the money. You just got to do things, as with all life, you got to do things with knowledge and really have a thoughtful approach behind them.
Another piece of bad advice: you should be on every social media platform. We would disagree with that strongly. So basically, there's two main things you'd want to consider. The first is, does it make sense for your business? Can you actually create content for that platform, and do you enjoy using it, and just does it make sense? Second is, where are your audience or your key targeted individuals located? Where do they hang out? On which network? If you are a clothing retailer, you probably don't need LinkedIn, but you probably could do with Pinterest. You got to approach it situation by situation. It's all about streamlining your energy and your effort. So instead of being everywhere and kind of hitting it broadly, sniper in and just do 2 to 4 networks that you can really, really perform well at. We actually ran through it in a video, which we're going to pop up there and down there, about which social media platforms your business should be on. So check that out.
Another bad piece of social media advice, coming off of what Craig just said about being on every single platform, is auto posting to every platform. So people who tell you that you should just auto post to every platform. So what do we mean by this? When you go to Instagram and you actually see when you're posting something, it'll actually show you to toggle to Facebook or toggle to Twitter. Do not do that. Each platform is individual. It is its own specific platform that needs to have content crafted for that platform. Now, we are big fans of repurposing content, so that's not the same thing. So this video that you're watching here, this could be a 1-second clip that would go on Instagram. It could be something that goes full on IGTV. It could be a 2-minute clip on Twitter, and it might be in full length, or it could just be an image or a blog post. We love repurposing content. That's a big thing, but you should not just be defaulting and just throwing out the exact same content everywhere. One, if somebody follows you on multiple platforms and they just see the same content across all platforms, that may cause them to tune out, or they might just unfollow you and be like, I just prefer them on Instagram, and just unfollow you because you're posting the same thing everywhere. But two, it also warps the content in a way. So for example, when you post to Instagram and you just default to Twitter, it doesn't actually keep the image. No. So it gives you this weird URL. And why is anybody going to be on Twitter and decide to go out of their platform, go out of where they are, click on your URL and go to Instagram, and probably even on desktop? It all just doesn't make sense. And on Facebook, when you're putting @mentions and hashtags, that all will go on Facebook, and that just looks messy and is not part of the platform. So it just becomes extremely painfully obvious that you're not giving love and attention to each platform, and that you kind of don't know what you're doing. So we'd really definitely advise against auto posting. There are some solutions like IFTTT.
Yep.
What IFTTT does is actually you can create little formulas. We'll actually put it in the description below because it's a bit technical to explain. But basically it allows you to kind of create a formula to make things native to a platform. So even though there's a bit of automation, we don't really advise it, but that's a solution that can kind of get you around it, so at least it doesn't look ridiculous or look weird.
Yeah.
And then there's the option, of course, to actually post to Facebook and then run in and edit the content later. Yeah. But what we generally prefer is we use tools. So we use Sprout Social, which we've mentioned. We actually mentioned the tools that we use in a video here that I'll link up there, which was how to schedule a week's worth of content in 1 hour.
Yeah.
So that's a video that we kind of outlined some of the tools that we use. So that's a good solution. Just sit down one day, get all your stuff out there, and have it distributing the perfect way that it should be for each platform. All right, guys, those are the 8 pieces of terrible social media advice that we had here today. I think it was 8.
It was 8.
So if you had a bad experience where somebody told you to do something and you knew it wasn't right in your soul, drop it in the comments below and let us know. Yeah. Or maybe you wonder about a piece of advice you got and you just need a second perspective on it. Drop that in the comments below and we will be there happily ready to answer you.
And guys, if you've got any questions that you'd like us to answer in our Q&A series, drop them in the comments below as well. We're always looking for new ones.
Exactly. Thank you so much, guys, for coming back to watch another video. If you loved this video, give us a thumbs up. And if you've watched it this far, hit subscribe below, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other videos from us. Follow us everywhere at High Season Co. And check out our blog posts at highseasonco.com, where we give you a ton of tips and resources, always ready at your disposal.
Yeah.
Until next time, guys.
Peace.